Hey everybody, my name is Spencer, and in this video I'm going to help you decide if you should buy Chronicles of Crime 1400 by Lucky Duck Games. I do need to mention that Lucky Duck sent me a copy of the game for the purposes of this review. Now before we get started, a quick request. Would you please subscribe to the Lighten Up initiative? I'd greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's go back in time. Chronicles of Crime 1400 is a crime-solving game set in Paris 1400s. Oui. 1 to 4 players take on the role of a gifted crime solver who has visions of scenes relating to a crime. In this open-world type environment, you'll visit many locations, investigate crime scenes, and interrogate suspects in order to get the information needed to solve whatever case is at hand. Leave your Batman intimidation tactics behind. They won't work here. Now, when you attempt to solve the case, you must answer a series of questions and will be given a final score to rate your detective skills. The game is facilitated by a free companion app. Each person, place, or thing, nouns, contains a QR code which you'll scan to interact with, preposition. If you want to put it simply, this game can be broken down to just QR codes and cards, but I choose to see it as something more. Now, the app works just fine. I especially enjoy the times when you get to search the crime scenes with VR. In addition to running the game, it also enhances your experience with music and sound effects. I appreciate how the music and background noises are different for each location you go to. It really makes you feel like you're there, without the stench of excrement in the streets. I'm all about theme, and this extra step taken in the development of the app makes for an immersive game. The app can also change things up on you while you're playing. Conditions may change based on how much time has passed, like a person you need to interview leaves a location because they had something more important to do. I enjoy how little surprises like that and other events that happen force you to adjust your plans, just like my children do. So every time you do something in the game, like go to a location or interview suspects, you spend time to do it. You can talk to as many people as you want, as many times as you want, but the longer it takes for you to gather clues and solve the crime, the lower your score will be at the end of the game. This gives a sense of urgency that I both love and hate. I hate that I can't just ask everyone everything, but I love it because it causes me to have to make those tough decisions. Not quite as tough as choosing between peach or cherry pie, but very close. For this edition, there are 4 cases and a tutorial. Each case is self-contained, so you don't have to remember any details between cases. This also means that you can play the game with one group of friends, and then have another group jump in if those friends turn out to be pretty dumb. Seasoned Chronicles of Crime players not only taste better, but also will enjoy some new features like Percival the dog and vision cards. You can have Percival sniff items to see if he reacts to them. Sometimes he'll lead you to a new location. And I find the vision cards to be super helpful in piecing together the events of the crime. Alright, so who is this for? Well, in general, people who are fans of deduction, mystery, and crime solving will definitely enjoy this. If you watch shows like Southern Fried Homicide, this could be your cup of iced tea. And if you're familiar with Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective or Mythos Tales, this will feel very similar. Now, you don't have to worry about complexity. The app guides you through everything. In fact, you may only need the rulebook for reference. This game works with all player counts, 2, 3, and even if you're wanting to play it with 4 people, that's fine. Now, like The Office on Free Pretzel Day, it might feel a bit crowded, but as the case spreads out, there's more to see and think about. This is also a great solo experience. It can be a great indicator of your intellect. The cases vary in difficulty, and I found the difficulty ratings the publisher provides to be pretty accurate. One thing I will note is that the cases contain some mature subject matter. It's nothing more than you'd be exposed to on an episode of Law & Order Dun, so use your judgment there. That brings me to the most important point. Should you buy it? First, if you haven't played any Chronicles of Crime, I highly recommend you start with the original version. You don't have to have played it to play this, but I think it's a better starting point. When you average the playing times and compare them to the MSRP of $30, you get about $4 per hour. Now, those hours are going to be more valuable to some than others, all dependent on how involved you think you will get. If you're just going to casually play through this, I think you should look for something else. Additionally, the likelihood for expansion content like DLC cases is very low with this version. The demand has to be extremely high for that to happen. There's plenty of DLC for the original version, so again, start there before you try this and make sure you enjoy it. But I do think that for those who have played these types of game before and seriously try to solve the cases, this is a great option for you. Well, that'll about do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are interested in purchasing the game, I've placed an Amazon link in the description of this video. If you use the link to purchase the game, a small portion of your sale will come back to support the Lighten Up initiative. Once again, I ask, could you do me a favor and subscribe to the Lighten Up initiative? I'd greatly appreciate it. Until next time, don't take the board game hobby too seriously. Just lighten up.